Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We are
Hello.
live.
Yeah,
Hi.
So
we are
my name is
live.
Ming.
Yeah.
I am
And
Tristan.
Then we have and
Chino.
Chi Leong.
yeah,
And of
we
course
are
we have
we're gonna
our
show the name
user.
here. Yeah.
Then we have our
And
username.
I think I used to be called Chilium, but nowadays I'm Borg.
Uh-huh.
We are Borg.
Okay. Borg.
Sorry. So
Okay.
yeah, we have
And we
Kevin
have a
and
guest.
Then finally we have guest Ikwan Nazri, aka Tekong, aka CEO of
Wow.
Amans. But
Wait,
that
I
will
want to
come later.
add another one. Dictator of
Yeah.
Amans. Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the actual one.
Itu yes.
Dictator.
So before we go to our event, let's start with our usual thing. Goodness. It's called devkami.com/meetups because I forget to open the tab. This is the most horrible thing ever. Okay, I have to. So
DevKami.com/meetup is not working, lah.
really,
It's working.
What?
Yeah, it's Slash it meetup, just right? loaded for me. Oh, with the
Yeah.
S.
Meetups.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Since you typed in without an S, I'll make sure we put a redirect.
Yeah.
The people who type in without an S is fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's on YouTube. Okay, let me share the
Yeah.
YouTube to my friends.
Yeah.
Please do.
It's on
Okay, okay.
YouTube and it's also on.
Is it gonna reach the organic growth of
Facebook.
1 million also?
I hope. So let's start. So we have our event for the whole week will be starting on Friday. We actually have developer Kaki meetup. That's happening by developer Kaki Facebook group. This is happening physically. What a first
It's
physical
one of the
event.
physical meetup, right? That's quite
Yep.
Gathering.
interesting.
Yes. And it'll be happening at Found 8 at KL Central. There is actually across Kayu at it's not at KL Central. This is actually at I believe
Found
this one is
Found it. So
Platinum?
basically, found it. So it's inside KL Central, level 2. Just take the escalator
okay,
and
okay.
take a lift to level 3. Should be fine. It's just
Okay.
inside the KL Central itself.
okay.
Just go up towards after the KFC, above KFC.
And
So
that's
it's
happening
inside KL Central itself. Oh, okay, interesting. I never
Yeah.
knew.
so
Yeah.
It's
what,
the
what
co-working space.
so are we supposed to go there to talk about lakes?
Nah.
No,
Sorry.
we're not
It's a bad
invited
pun day.
actually. Yeah. So the next one on the same day, this is actually AWS Student Ambassador program to talk about going cloud native. This is an online event. If you click on the link on DevKami meetups, you actually see how to join in. So you can sign up.
Mhm.
You have to sign up before going. Then going to next week. Next week we have the software architecture community first meetup. This is actually on
Wow.
18.
Who's doing that?
No idea. Apparently someone.
Okay.
Somebody
Software
that know about us.
Architecture community. That's
Correct.
number one. So I don't know. I didn't know about this, but I
So-
guess this is the first one. So
Yeah,
So
this is-
the practice of sarcom is called sarcasm.
Haha. And finally, this is actually for a far future event. Let's see whether I can open it. Python.my.
someone been checking Nokia a lot. Nokia 331.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, I lost the link. PyCon Malaysia actually announced for real that they invited the creator of Python, the Python. Forget the name suddenly. He'll be
Guido
on an interview.
Van Rossum.
Guido
Guido.
is actually joining the conference online, so it'll be a virtual conference. So you want to ask question to the creator of Python. Join the conference. The conference
He
is
was,
20 ringgit online. and
What
all
was
that.
his title? He was former BFDL.
Correct? Former dictator for
Dropbox,
life.
right?
Correct. Huh?
Dropbox, right?
Yeah. He used to be Dropbox. Guido works in many places. The last one is Dropbox. He retired from. His last job is in Dropbox. Before that, he was with Google.
Mm.
And
Yeah, so
before that,
many of
Yeah.
these tech companies, they hire the creators, like for example, like Matt's Ruby
yeah,
person, I think is in Heroku or something, and some other
Yes.
core committers. Some people are in AWS. Yeah,
yes.
Guido was in Google or in Dropbox. They hire the many of the contributors because they want to contribute back to open source by actually giving, like, so they basically hire these people and then to work on
And
or to hack on those open source
and
projects.
what happened
Correct.
during Guido's in Google time is, if you remember, App Engine. One of the
Mhm.
earliest language that App Engine support is Python.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's
So
I guess this is part of their um and like social responsibility for these big tech companies for the open source and the software development
but
at large.
when Guido in Dropbox, significant work are made on performance area. As for
Mhm.
example, the introduction of a proper interface system, static checking on languages, dan lain-lain. So yes,
No.
How do you pronounce that? Apa topik malam
malam
ni?
ini.
Apa
Malam.
topik malam
So
ini?
topik malam ni pelbagai semua benda ada. That's how I would say it.
Wah, high stakes lah.
feel free to ask questions
Yes.
as well.
And as usual, okay, this one is a bit different. So we be like Wojak, so we mix different languages and all that. Let's see how it
Rojak.
goes.
I mean,
Yeah,
we have two Malaysian team here, right? One Malay,
yeah.
Chinese,
Yeah.
Indian. Okay lah. Dan lain-lain.
Then Tristan is you guys no big deal.
Dan lain-lain.
Yes.
And
So
one outsider.
we're done with event. So let's talk about Bus Corner. What's the interesting thing happened? Name. Well, first the sad news. The sad news here is people from Mozilla have been let go. 250 of them.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
25% of
Yep.
of the total.
It's actually a team, actually. One of the team in main team tribe
Correct.
team. They got let go, right?
It's a
So-
quarter of
Correct.
them.
yes.
So Amas,
So-
do you report this on Amas.my?
God, let me open my screen and
And
sharing-
the
you share
thing
your
is,
screen.
it
can
looks
share.
like they're gonna give up doing browser development because they let go of the server team.
Yep.
They let go of the security team.
Correct.
Because I
And
saw
They
the
let go most of the MDN team as well.
correct.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
At
first
the end
very
is the
sad.
documentation, right? It's for the
Yeah,
documentation
correct.
of the browser.
Yeah.
But they're yes.
They
And-
basically look like, I don't know, maybe in 2 years' time they're gonna switch to Blink. Sorry,
Yes.
I don't know. It's a bit
So the thing
it's a bit
about-
sad.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really sad,
Suddenly,
but it's also very weird.
Yeah, Firefox
thing
is going
is,
to start using.
there you go.
Okay, I'm
Firefox is
going to
going
share
to start
this.
using Chromium as its engine.
Okay lah.
Yes.
Thank you for covering it.
No problem.
Yes.
Have to. Okay, I'm
Yeah, he just
Stop
typed it in the
sharing
last
in
10 seconds, you know.
You just
Yeah.
type it and then publish it now, no? Embed it.
no,
We were
no way.
thinking about it.
Let's look at the date. It's 12. Okay.
August.
No, you can backdate. You can backdate in the WordPress.
Wait, don't not bad date lah. Everything must be there.
Okay, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Okay,
So,
continue.
and similarly, we don't know what actually happened. Like the PyPy project,
Yeah.
they parted ways with the conservatory. So the conservatory is actually a non-profit that provides them funding. So I'm not sure what's going to happen next for PyPy as well.
Yes. So here's the thing about software development that we know and versus non-profit. Non-profit software development is relatively rare, but they are responsible for Linux. They are responsible for your compiler. They're responsible for your browser, of course. And the thing is, you also require people to contribute. But at this economy, that's not your highest priority, which I think is actually pretty sad for the open source world. So, and I hope we will see new things happening in the browser side, and also in the blog, Mozilla is looking toward their commercial venture. Here's my 50-cent bet. We have to buy Firefox in the future.
No need lah,
Okay.
just rely on Microsoft Edge. Done.
It's fine by me if they.
Buying.
It's fine by
Probably
me
like-
if they have the.
Yeah. Fine
Okay,
by you.
so let's move to
No,
let's
I
move
mean
to the
I've-
next
it's,
news.
it has to
Yep.
be free to be
Mhm.
used and open
Mhm.
source by everybody. But it's fine by me if there's a way to pay a premium to support it.
Correct.
But if they really made it closed source and everything, then it's not okay for me because what Firefox represent is the open web.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay,
They
so
can
the,
do
the next
They- Brave did, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Advertising thing.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay, so the next one on my list is you can use your Android to actually detect earthquake. Not much use here, not much use in Malaysia because we did. What earthquake?
Can it be used to detect rain? Or
Have to hack it to Renometer.
Yeah. So actually, it'd be also interesting to me that how do they differentiate between activities versus earthquake. Let me share my screen again. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Android detecting the earthquake, is it?
Yes.
Yes, it's same like
We got
contact
it.
tracing, but for earthquake.
See, whenever we start talking about a topic, 10 seconds after he has an article.
No,
As he types.
he have a robot actually covering the news, so it's all news is like
No, no,
5 minutes out,
No,
it's
I'm-
straight away covered. They're already on that man.
Yes.
Faster
I'm a
than the
detector,
news.
so
Yeah.
I'm a detector. So like, hey, where's the news now? And now I'm
Yeah.
looking at the news. Where?
I want to share something as well.
Uh-huh.
Once you finish that, I also.
I'm done.
I
I'm
want to
done. Just
Okay.
interesting that they can use that. Your Android is very capable.
There
Not
is
all sensors
it's
visible.
very easy to remember OpenEU.
Oh,
So there's a
OpenEU.
news from OpenEU as well. They have it's also a pretty good news deal. So they were doing a partnership on earthquake detection system. I'm not sure if it coincide with that as well. So OpenEU, check it out.
Alright,
Yeah,
Aman,
sick one.
stop mine, gonna cover that.
Hey, we cover. Wait, I'm going to show you. Let me go to StreamYard.
Let him finish his
Screen.
article first.
Share
Come on.
screen. Chrome
Publish.
tab. And
Share.
Publish.
Publish.
and there you go. Yep.
Publish already.
That's all good.
Let me share. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, okay, now part of Android.
It's so
Yeah.
fast.
See,
How did you do it?
I only need 15 seconds to publish this one.
So
That's how-
you have a
That's
robot
how-
or something to do it for like, or you call your slave. Come on, I need it quick. Within a minute.
Comments there, you know.
we make a
So-
bot and then
Yeah.
here all these comments are bots also. You know?
I hope your advertiser is not listening to you.
no, these are real
Just-
people commenting.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
you're cheating lah.
Okay,
What
stop
is
the
the
stream.
what is
Yeah.
one of the questions they have online?
Okay. Yesterday.
What's the feature of HMS? What is HMS?
What?
You know
What?
what is it?
HLMS.
HMS. Come again? What was the question?
Any view on the future of HMS?
HMS.
What is HMS?
What's
I don't know
HMS?
what HMS is.
What's
It's the one
HMS?
of your startup.
We'll
I know GMS, Google Mobile Services, lah.
we'll get back to him once he mentions
Space
what
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is part of activity.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the final news for me is
Okay.
P8 is out.
HMS.
Oh, Huawei mobile service.
I
Oh,
couldn't have-
Huawei Mobile Services. Okay. Yeah, I hope my advertiser don't listen to this one. No.
Yeah.
How to say? For me, I mean, business owner. I am business owner. You always need an option. You always need options or what? Redundancy, right? Macam backup or like alternative. So if let's say in this kind of situation, right? Because like it or not, even let's say okay, suddenly Malaysia ban YouTube, for example.
Yeah.
So what are our alternative for YouTube? So maybe we can use
Yep.
the Dailymotion or whatever, right? So any view on
Yep.
the future of FHMS? I think what Huawei local doing is good, which is they actively go to other developers also and say, hey, look, you have your app on iOS, you have your app on Google, right? Now you can also jump into the Huawei app gallery. So future
Yeah.
of HMS still new, but I guess we can see Huawei every day have their new devices being released and support HMS. I think should be okay, because the things that we cannot control definitely are the presidency, right? So that one, but we have to think about it also. Yeah.
I think the biggest crisis
my-
for Huawei is
Yeah.
the TSMC no longer can provide them the chip manufacturing
Yeah.
service because of US
Yes,
sanctions.
Correct.
Yeah. Now they don't. Yeah, they cannot access TSMC, but they have if I'm not mistaken, they are still lobbying Qualcomm. Well, we have that news for that also. Let me check on my.
Show me.
Yeah.
Qualcomm,
And also the
Qualcomm
side news is that the China one, the SMIC or something like that, can only produce the 40 nanometer instead of 7. So
Yeah.
like 14 is like 4 to 5 years ago. So it's
Yeah, guys.
it's a pretty big setback for them.
Okay, share screen, Chrome tab, Qualcomm. Here you go. Okay, thank you to the editor named AC for writing this on 9 August 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
you see, Qualcomm
Okay, this one. Okay, this.
right now.
This one is a real one because I read this a couple of days.
Wow.
So it's a real one.
So you see, even Qualcomm, I mean business to business, Qualcomm is US entity. They would
Yeah.
want to do business with Huawei, but again, because of top level decision whatsoever, so they have to make do. And then even now, Qualcomm even is negotiating with their own government to allow this sale of the chip. And yeah,
Huawei,
for that.
they're still doing Android, right? This is not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
complete operating system.
They are doing their phones, but they have to run it on their own system. You can sideload Google, but again, sideload
Yeah.
the firmware have its own risk. So it's quite.
So that means if I develop an Android app, it's just putting it on their store. There's no special, like it's like not like Windows OS or Symbian or iOS.
Yeah,
Right? Like it's
as
still the same.
developers should be on board with Huawei app development now. I think you should. Yeah. We don't know
Business-wise,
what
it's a
happened
good
in 2 or
idea.
3 years ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it's a great idea. Even though
Mhm.
I may not agree with the business, but redundancy is always a good thing. That's my opinion.
I agree with the viewpoint of Tekong that it's good to have alternative.
Mhm.
Yes, correct. And I think the final news that we should cover is the PHP 8 beta is out. So that will be interesting. And I
Okay.
think that's the final one for me.
Yeah. They added a bunch of like union types, pattern matching, and those fancy features. So
Pattern matching seems to be the in thing nowadays.
Yes.
If you like all these if for people that complains about a bit apologetic that Golang doesn't have it, go try out PHP.
Okay.
CCP. Oh.
Oh, okay. We are not able to go to Hong Kong now. I'm
Of
so
course.
sorry. We're going
We
to
are not be able
we're going
to
to be
go to
arrested once we
anywhere.
land to Hong Kong. Yes.
Come on, I just
Oh,
went
I
to
mean
Hong
that's
Kong.
a good news
Oops.
now. Lah.
Okay, talking about this, right? Since we're done with the story, right? Bus corner, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I need to wait for Tekong to come back because during the MCO, he did something.
Yeah.
So he tricked everyone on his whoever following his Instagram. He thought that he did for a few days. He made a trip like he's going to US and coming back from US. And Literally posting from airport, take the boarding pass, going to US, Los Angeles, do like event, coming back during MCO when everyone can like stuck in the house. He did that, and a lot of people fell for it lah. And I was like, wow, this guy really managed to go out to the fly over to the US during the MCO time when everything is shut down.
No, okay, so the joke was that at that time the MCO was fully listed on 10 June, if I'm not mistaken. 8 June or 10th of June.
I think
And
10th
then
of June.
10th of June, yeah. And then it happens that I have a boarding pass, and the boarding pass doesn't state any year to it. So of course I have to leave the lie. I take a picture. Oh, 10 June. Let's go to San Fran. And I was like, hey, how come you can go out? Then I said, it's not a problem to go out. And then I intentionally adjust my watch so that it follow US GMT. And then right now it's 10 p.m. Malaysia, so it should be like 8 a.m. in US. Then of course breakfast today. I did that to the point, Kamal. I think you all know Kamal Farid, right?
Yeah.
So Kamal was messaging me, and then they said, dude, how are you here? And then you go back. How are the immigration and quarantine? How are those things? And I messaged him, dude, it wasn't it was a picture from last year. And then Kamal was like, shit, man. So by then I told him because Kamal wanted to go back. Kamal wanted to go back. I mean, just balik kampung or something like that.
Okay.
So I say, okay, now because I tipu you, right? So let me make it for you. Let me make some calls. I asked Malaysia Airlines. So and then but then through my contacts from Malaysia Airlines, they told me that well, you have to undergo 14 days quarantine, blah 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 blah. But then of course Kamal didn't come back because latest I checked with him, hey, when you're coming back, right? Because maybe it's good to meet you up, whatever. But then Kamal is not coming back yet because he said to enter Malaysia is not a problem, but coming back to US he will have a problem. So he's still in San Francisco with his company Envoy, yeah, Kamal Farid.
Okay.
Father of Bakem.
I actually checked, when you put the boarding pass, like actually the flight airline, actually there's a flight from KL to San Francisco that time or not. And then there was a flight. So I thought for a moment I thought it's a real thing.
There is.
There is a flight.
I think we still have some flight. It's just that on reduced
Emirates
capacity.
still flying. Emirates, Malaysian Airlines all still flying.
Yeah. True.
So you did this for how many days? Like
1 week.
1 week. Imagine that. For 1 week, the story in US.
Yeah. You imagine? Oh, now this is how it feels like to live the life for 1 week. you simply have to follow the Twitter so that you don't tweet out of time zone whatever. Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
So let's go to the main thing. So Ikwan aka Tekong is are you owner or just run Aman's?
It's the dictator, man.
That one? Co-founder. Not the founder,
Okay.
co-founder.
Yeah, I know your
Founder
co-founder.
is Aman, right?
Founder is
actually
Nasir.
Aman.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, which is why it's Aman's, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
why. Which is very interesting because when Aman started, I remember people are asking why do a Malay focus tech blog. I think it's a good idea because more language is better. But that's me. But do you remember why the decision is made at that time?
Oh, so the backstory, the origin of the site is that at that time the founder, Mafidausa, the founder, he was looking for a tutorial to make a website.
Yeah.
He was asking to people in I don't know which forum.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because back then there's a lot of forums. There's a Loyak forum,
Yes.
there's a Chari forum, or even there's this one called Chari Gold forum.
Yeah.
So he posted like, hey, how to do a website? And then someone said, hey, you Google lah. So he Googled for it. He knows how to do a website. And then he wrote about it in Malay language. So when he wrote in Malay language about tutorial to do a website, and then he started do more tutorials. This was back in 2005. And then fast forward, so he blogged one-man show until 2011 that he graduated, and then he started looking for crew. So he was posting like, hey, who wants to be a CEO? Like, oh, okay, me. Then I joined, and then followed by SC. Yeah. So the backstory is always even until now, up until now, okay, of course, we post a lot of news in Malay language about technology.
Yep.
But the goal is always the same, which is to make sure that this kind of information goes to the public in a language that they can understand. So like, who knows about Android and earthquake like just now, like us, who about Qualcomm and Huawei, also us, something like that. Yeah.
So, and of course, since then you expanded because you also expanded to Axis, which is a sister blog, I believe. Is it a sister blog or just something?
We right now have 7 sites.
Okay.
7 websites.
So,
we have so Aman, Axis for gaming. We have Ringgit for finance. We have Nextwave for long piece technology, but in English. We have to do that also. We have Tajriah for lifestyle. We have Tazkirah for Islamic. Ringgit, I think I sudah cakap.
You have another one, right?
Just recently, just last 2 weeks. What?
Surf.
Oh, no, that one is different thing. So the last site that we have is Sukan. Sukan, Sukan with a Z, with Z. That talk about sports. So from one tech site, now we have 7.
So you literally had an empire now.
No, you haven't done that. He haven't done that.
If empire must be, I must have like 100 people, you know. But now
that's the goal. That's the goal, lah.
25 people. So I guess if I took 9 years for 25 people, I maybe exponential. So maybe give and take another 5 years. 100 people, wow. In this economy, no, I don't know yet.
Okay, so there's other than the writing, right? You have other ventures as well, right? Like, do you want to talk about that? Like, what others? How you spreading your empire, making the empire big?
Yeah,
it's not spreading the empire. I would say it's more like when you are running a media, right? Basically you have a lot of eyeballs. When we were started back in 2011, we have 10,000 Facebook fans and 100k page views per month at that time. Now we have Aman side alone have 4 million page views, and we have 1 million readers. And then in YouTube we are big. In Facebook we are quite top. And whenever we deploy any other things, it can quickly spread. So, and then the boom of internet right now in Malaysia, just recently, just today, if I'm not mistaken, for last June, YouTube Malaysia traffic was increased by 35%. 30 or 35? Well, I have that news also.
35.
But that indicates like how more and more Malaysians are connected to the internet. Like last time, maybe
you have an article about it.
Yeah, I have the article about it. So
talking about that, right? Does that mean also Malaysians are moving more towards video instead of writing? And reading articles and stuff, they're moving more towards videos, like watching videos and like Insta stories and then YouTube. You have your one YouTube channel as well, right?
I would say yes and no. Yes and no. Because remember a few years ago there's this video clip like video kill the radio star, right?
Yeah.
But things will take time of course. But like people say, printing is dying, whatever. We can see some other newspapers still living, but of course we
But
don't know
it's
how
reducing.
they live, whatever. Lah. So those kind of stuff, right? Those kind of stuff that's tricky to say. It will take some time for the takeover, whatever. But definitely, video is becoming a preferred medium for people to consume the media. But if let's say they want it to go deeper and deeper, maybe they will go back to the article. Our article is still a heavy hit. Our video, we can see people do spend time on watching the videos whatever. But one of the downside also, we can see people is like sometimes they don't watch the video that long, like how they
Bounce rate
get the article. Even right now, actually our article right now on the screen, right, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 6 paragraphs, but actually it has been shortened quite a lot compared to when we were started. So I think moving forward, people will not to say they are stop reading, but maybe they find it even more easier to watch video and to get the things information within 2-3 minutes, and then that's it. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
thought about expanding your channels to something like TikTok or
Oh,
Instagram?
Insta story.
we
It's
have
okay.
TikTok, we have Instagram.
We have TikTok.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have TikTok.
I
We
didn't know.
have the account name is Talk Aman, but we don't at the moment we don't update it frequently.
Is it
Because we
the
are
main
still
actor? The main actor is Aman.
no. We just simply upload our video and then repurpose for TikTok format.
Okay. Alright.
But then we haven't found a niche, or we haven't found a golden recipe for TikTok yet, because sometimes when we go to other people TikTok channel, right,
It's
that
simple.
this
You
guy
just need to hire some female celebrities or female celebrities and then just ask to post some. Then
Yeah.
sure.
well, if we can do that, but again maybe it's kind of against our team or our core values or whatever. But if we there's a lot TikTok channels from China
Yeah.
that is very educating, very like, oh, this is how you plant a cabbage or whatever. Macam, oh, okay. But
Yep.
of course you swipe 10 contents from TikTok, I think about 7 is about dancing or whatever. Maybe 1 or 2 is about the knowledge or whatever. So we are still
Right.
finding ways to penetrate into TikTok
Basically,
audience.
basically a niche.
But we are not
market.
we simply cannot deny the power of TikTok, because if let's say we are denying the power of TikTok or whatever, it is akin, it is as the same as we are the traditional media who want like blog, not a
Yes.
serious thing whatever. But now we can see a lot of websites in the world powered by WordPress, and WordPress,
Right.
safe to say, it was created for a blog purpose before it became bigger and become a e-commerce content, e-commerce platform, social stuff
Correct.
inside there and so on. Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So, do you think
Back to the
social
show.
media social media is one of
Uh-huh.
the main driving factor for your traffic? Like, is it one of the main factor, or literally Amaz.mine is standalone itself, like more than, or is it most of the traffic is driven by the social media? Because
Most
recently
of
you
the
shared one organic growth on Facebook, right? You shared because of the short interesting title, you got like 1 million plus organic growth on that simple, right? So is it social media as a factor for you for making organic growth to reach?
if like the previous question, right, about the HMS and GMS. For our company, for our editorial team, we like to think that for anything that you do, there has to be a redundancy strategy, or there has to be an alternative strategy, because we on our side we always worry, okay, what if suddenly Facebook change algorithm? What if,
Correct.
let's say, Google or Facebook changes their thing, and then we are simply not being discovered. So for Facebook, right? Okay, on daily basis, we publish more than 30 news. 30 news we publish on every single day.
30 news every single day.
30 news every single day. More than that.
How many
But then
writers you
the
have?
news, we have right now we have 22 staff. 24, 22. Maybe 20, 22,
Tim, didn't you?
24 I guess. 24 with one including one intern. Okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so from 30 news that we publish every day, only about 10 or 12 news goes to Facebook on every day, because we only select some things, and then those news that we select is the one that we think it can drive a lot of traffic. But end of the day, the direct traffic is what important to us. So
Correct.
that's why we are relying on WordPress, right? WordPress has a beautiful engine. Even though, and I think one of it, because we start early, we start back in 2005, so our page rank is quite higher. So to say we rely on social media like totally, maybe not that totally.
So
But
is it safe to say like 70% direct traffic and 30% is the social media?
social media, I would say 40%. 40% or 55%, something like that. But again, we have also Twitter, we have also Facebook, like
TikTok.
TikTok no lah. TikTok cannot. Okay, TikTok and Instagram. The problem with TikTok, right? The problem with TikTok and Instagram, and sometimes people push about Instagram marketing whatever, right? Instagram marketing, you cannot put a URL on your one single post. So that's one. TikTok, of course, you cannot even click the link, so you cannot you cannot have leads.
I just to add on that, right? I just saw a couple of like US like marketing like blogs, I mean medias, right? They're actually taking leverage of the. It's interesting when I actually didn't even thought about that will work. So what they do, they post a post on Instagram, and they write a long post in the Instagram description itself. So it's actually a social media post, but it's actually but if you read it, it's actually news. So
is that you can do that. You can do that, but then
I know CNBC was doing that, Bloomberg was doing that. So I actually follow them because I can read the articles. I don't have to go to the website and read it. So
yeah, but for us, our take is that for Instagram we have a lot of younger people there.
Different target.
It's a different target lah. It's a different target. Maybe one day we have to focus there also, but at the moment we are not
too early.
There. Too early, I guess. Yeah. Okay, back to the chair.
Yep, Steven, go ahead.
All right.
Devon, I'm not sure why you were surprised that he can produce 30 a day. Did you just not see his performance just a few minutes ago?
I mean, just compared to the problem is his one is organic articles. So I know there's some other so-called media companies, they publish like more than 30 as well, like but all copy paste. So most of the time, so which I don't really call social media. So even 30 is like organic growth, it's actually quite huge.
Quality.
But considering that you have 25 plus writers, and then that's not
surprising. I think the difference is I have to give credit to Amans is that the site is not ad click, like
correct.
It's a very graceful website compared to others.
Okay, I have a very interesting story for you, Chilyang. Okay. Thanks to your opinion also. Okay, so I'm the co-founder. The founder set me a very difficult rule for me. In one page, there can be only one ad. So, okay, how do I monetize this website, and then how do I find the money to grow the team, right? But of course, we are lucky because our demographic, our clientele was a different subset, a different set than those of entertainment, whatever. Because if let's say entertainment website or gossip sites or artist sites, those have a their demographic. They have they are deemed by the market that they have a lesser purchasing power.
I think it's not crowded yet, right? The fortunate part is
no. That is our police car. Just last few days, I got client asking, hey, can we put a video in the middle of the article? Oh, of course. That one I say, you know what? In the middle of the article, we cannot do that. If you want, we can make after the article, before the comment. But then, of course, the ad agency will usually say, people don't scroll that way much or whatever. But then if you go to Aman, you can see all the commenters are being are commenting the article. So that's why I said we have our leaders commenting. But if let's say you want to put in between in the paragraph 3 and 4, immediately that I cannot do that because it's just against my founder's policy. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
Thank you for
talking about that,
noticing
right?
that we are less at.
Talking about that, right? One more thing, right? I noticed the Amas.my, the design is the same since you started, right? It's never changed last couple of years. The same compared to other. And I noticed does it like
Is that a compliment
really-
or
No,
is that a compliment or a
I'm just
complaint?
curious. I'm just curious.
Okay,
It's not about is
Seven may
okay.
be complimenting, but for me, it's as a complaint because we used to.
Okay. Let me
we used to
clarify.
have. Okay, clarify.
Okay, let me clarify. So the reason I asked this question is simple, right? Because most of the time, what media companies does when the website, right? They try to see how the users are spending the more time. So they want to increase the time people are engaging on the website. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, they change the UI here, they change the article here, they put it here, the article and left hand side.
Okay.
So we might need to. This is too much and everything. But I noticed you are keeping the same, but still it's growing and growing. So is it like a good thing, or is it like, oh, maybe you didn't even thought about it, I just don't care about design or something?
Truth to be told, actually we already delayed by 1 year or 2 years. We supposed to have a design changes back in 2019, but we haven't done it yet. Of course, we focus on other things like scaling the company whatsoever. We do commission few designers to design our website, so it's quite it's supposed to be updated, but we haven't updated yet. Technically, yeah, we haven't changed the design for 1 year plus already. Usually, every new year we have a new theme. It's just that we already delay for 2 years, I guess. Yeah, that's
I just want to add one more thing.
Mhm.
One thing which will make Tristan happy. They're also running on Ruby on Rails, by the way. Some are part of it.
Okay.
So Tristan is a Ruby on Rails guy. So just to
Yeah.
add on it, but I think he's not here.
Well, for me, usually I commission my WordPress team developer, and then right now, I guess when our other website are having much more, not to say frequent, but they have a new team being installed whatever. I guess maybe for Aman, maybe expect new team next year, I guess. But I
Happy New
wish
Year lah.
to before end of this year, or at least maybe.
This year is gone already. So this year is gone already. So you have another one more try. You have one more try. So it's okay.
So, how does
Yes.
the viewership during the COVID actually? Do you get more reader or you just get normal reader?
We get an abnormal reader. Our traffic was quite crazy back in May.
Right.
May, and then June because MCO was not to say lifted. It's more like it's being relaxed. So 10
Yep.
June is when people start coming back to work. Whatever. Our traffic was dropped by 20%, I guess. But then on May we have quite a huge spike. If I'm not mistaken, our normal is 4 million page view. May we have 4.7 million page view.
Wow.
So by 700, but then 4.2 again. So it's quite a deep one lah. And then this also applies to all of our sites and all of our assets. Like so the YouTube are experiencing the same, Facebook experiencing the same, and even the web experiencing the same. Like May was very huge spike and then drop. I think during MCO people really stay at home and then turn to the internet and then watching a lot of things. And then just to explain, last time the YouTuber sensation Sugu Pavitra. I remember at that time, like this week, I was looking at her channel like, let's say 500k.
Yes.
Or 300k at the time.
300.
And then last 4 days after that was like,
it was huge.
390k. Like, wow, 4 days 90k. subscribers were.
I think this is what I noticed is the YouTube the homepage, like how you post a new video or so I noticed the homepage is actually different. How they put it, just they throw in like very low numbers, mix of like videos with higher views as well. And sometimes you just click on it and straight away, like at least if people are more clicking it, if it's a low view, they actually remain there for a while. Maybe it's a new algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah, for YouTube, there's always a new algorithm, and
Yeah.
I have a theory actually that I think everyone now, if let's say you want to start a new channel, is even at better position or at better time because you can easily being boosted or being get a much more faster subscriber. The road to 100K right, much more easier than before. I mean,
Yes, correct.
our road to 100K was like few years ago, but then we started back in 2011.
Yeah.
But then now, like, if you like Sugu is early January. I got my friend who do a YouTube for Gazette. Last year he was like just started, but by just last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, he got 100K, which is by that kind of speed is quite fast. So yeah, for me, it's
Last
a
time
good time
took few
start
couple of
YouTube.
years. Okay, lah.
Yeah?
Tomorrow I'm starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah, tomorrow you can start a YouTube channel, you do coding or whatever. I bet
Yeah.
I bet if you got the luck and if the traffic if the algorithm with you, so you can get the traffic very easily.
I mean,
So-
I need to do something funny and easy lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's a question
Juggling while
along the
you
line.
code.
Any syndication traffic?
How about
This is an
Yeah.
insult, man. This is an insult. The question is an insult.
No.
Really, why?
But I don't think. I think. Okay, I don't remember this kind of number. In syndication traffic, I think this one refers to RSS. As
Yep.
for
Oh,
RSS,
You mean that one?
I think the numbers is not that big. I'm not sure. Maybe I have to check again. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure about it. But never mind. I can message my friends, my team. Hey, what's the RSS percentage? But I bet it's not that major. Most of our
Yeah.
major is from direct and from social
Okay.
media. For RSS,
Right.
okay. Maybe let's proceed with another question first before we get back to the RSS syndication traffic.
So what's the trend? Okay, so what do people look at in the consumers? See, do you have a feel based on the traffic? Do you have any idea what's the interest among Malaysian when it comes to technology?
For Malaysian, right? For Malaysian, I think in any way that you can present an info that is cost effective, that is tips or tricks. Okay, things like this is how you can how you can do a fuel saving, or this is the cheapest phone that in the market, or this is this kipas, this table desk fan only 40 ringgit but can work better. So those kind of content or those kind of things really attracts people. There was this
Right.
one time during MCO, Shopee, right? Shopee was selling a lot of shavers. I
Right.
also inside that one. I bought a electric shaver, right? So
Yep.
and then that time that shaver, right, 30 ringgit
Yeah.
from Xiaomi. So things
Yeah.
that are cheap or things that are like easily can be gotten can attract a lot of end consumers. And like sometimes right now, if let's say for the MCO, right, we can see the surge of people going for a holiday or whatever. So I remember asking my editor for lifestyle website, Tajriah. Oh, I think I forgot to mention Tajriah just now. Oh, is it? Never mind. So I asked her to write. Maybe you should write about the hotel services during MTO. You know, right? Hotel services during MTO, there can be no buffet. There can be no
Yep.
buffet line. They can last time you cannot use the swimming pool, but now if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
you can already. And then if let's say hotel buffet, then how are the food being served to you, whatever. And then on the
Yep.
reduced capacity of the hotel. So we wrote about that and then gain a certain bit of traffic. So that kind of thing is quite eye opener for us also. Like, oh, people are looking, because people are now with COVID, right? People are having different habits to spend time online, so they can see more content online. So that's their consumer sensitivity lah. Anything that can contribute to to lessening their spending, that will get a lot of things.
So are you suggesting that life hack type of article would be popular among
Yeah.
Malaysian readers?
Life hack kind of thing, and but I guess it can be pros and cons. As in, if right now we are still in lockdown, right? As in, not say lockdown, but we are in restricted movement, like we cannot go to work, whatever. That kind of content maybe have a better chances. But now, because people are getting back to work, so people are already start adjusting, or they are getting busy with the work. But then if let's say on during weekend, right? The weekend, these are the new things that you can try out during MCO. So people might want to test it. But now, because we are not on a limited movement or the whatever, so maybe that pressure or that kind of attraction or that kind of drive of content to the people is lessened nowadays.
Register is lifehack.my taken? Let me double check.
Hack kami, no lah.
Heck, Kami,
Just so you
I'm doing
know.
about it.
Oh,
So-
got it lah. Okay lah. Can do lah.
So they're gonna be a new podcast from Teko,
Seven lah.
and we'll be the guest. We'll be the guest there.
Okay.
so
I have
like-
another question. What do you think about podcasting? Do you think it's a trend? Is it a good thing? And I notice a lot of people now recently doing a lot of podcasts, right? Like, is it really first question is how to make impact on the podcast? Do you think is podcast relevant in Malaysia? And are you planning to do a podcast? So there's 3 questions.
Aman already do a podcast. You can access our podcast at Spotify, or we have our account. We are using Audible, is it? We are using.
Nobody
Shit, you guys
listens
are
to us
pretty much
anymore.
everywhere lah. This guy everywhere.
Yeah, if you go to Spotify, we have a playlist.
Telegram, they are there.
Malabar. But what I like to see in Malaysia, right? We are still lacking the podcast. Okay, when if we say podcast in Malaysia, right? A lot of podcast in Malaysia, maybe like all of us talking, and then like 4-way, 3-way, 2-way type of discussion. But the podcast that we like are the kind of gimlet style, the startup style, where it was documentary type. Like there will be one host, and hey, what's up guys? You are with me, Iqbal, and today we are going to talk about the rise of the startup in Malaysia. So, but first let's talk to the first where it started. Maybe we have to go back to Kamal Faris, and then he will talk about it. Okay, then talk, and then got some other people. So it's kind of documentary show. That kind of podcast that is, I don't think we have in Malaysia yet. And
Do you think there'll be a hit for that? People
there
in
should be a hit
Malaysia
for
will
that.
like it.
And but then again, if you're doing it for money, or if you're doing it for income, well, it's up to personal preferences. If you want to do it for money, okay. But this kind of content, I'm not sure if it can take a boom like that, or it can be sustainable as fast as possible. Because again, when making a content, when running a media, right, one of the things you have to ensure to keep the steam rolling. You also have to make sure that the income is coming. But if let's say you are pouring a lot of effort, but you have the money in the mind, or you have of course it's fair to have money in mind, but how long for you to tahan, or to be patient before how long for you to be patient before your passion goes out? That one kind of thing. So
That one is based on luck.
for podcast, I think there's still room in Malaysia. People listen, but maybe not that huge following yet. For Aman, what I can say is that we have a Sembang Lebat. We have 1 hour long, or even we have 2 hour long talking about Apple keynote. Okay.
Yep.
But then for our audience in YouTube, they are commenting that not to say complaining, they're just giving feedback that, oh, this is too long. 2 hours to watch them listening is too long. But if
Yeah.
imagine we also have the podcast in Spotify. The Spotify, I think of course Spotify don't have a comment section, right? But
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the
Yes.
section is pretty good because if you are opening Spotify and then you are doing work, then okay. I think it goes back to your visual preferences or whatever. Like I think I tweeted a few days ago that for me, I cannot listen to podcast when I'm in front of computer. It's just not me.
Yep.
But I can listen to podcast when I'm driving.
Yes.
Driving, I just set the
I think
Bluetooth and then
I think
play.
that's the way we consume podcasts, right? During commute time, right?
Yeah, during commute time. During commute time is much better. And then
But
at that time,
go on.
at that time that I realized that we Malaysians, I mean, even by BFM standards, right? BFM has a lot of good content, but most of
Yep.
it is two-way, three-way talk.
Correct.
But sometimes if you're driving around 9:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m. usually they will have their BBC section, and then that BBC section is the one that we are lacking of, like how they delve in in sejarah, and then how they
Yeah, real world
navigate through the
issues.
news, world issues, and then they
Yes.
even slip in some uh, melody that is very is a high quality of documentary being delivered
Yep.
in podcast. That thing is
Okay.
still I don't see much in Malaysia that, but then I hope to see it in Malaysians like among Malaysians like it's not just discussion like four-way or three-way. It must be have
Yeah.
some sort of flow, like a
Right.
gimlet.
I just find that Malaysian have a very weird way of consuming content lah. It's like always different from the norm. Like other countries, how they consume content, Malaysian be like differently. Like when
Yeah.
YouTube was like famous here, was like still taking some some time for it and suddenly become a hit. So like
Yes.
YouTube was
And now I would say YouTube is very matured, and
Yep.
even we have a 35% traffic increase last June, and then 2 days after this, 15 August, we have a super stream, YouTube super stream that that are streaming content non-stop, and they are streaming content from TV3 whatever, more from Media Prima content. So things are taking at a different pace.
I noticed that some companies like film movies or what, right? They're actually posting their movies there on YouTube as well. Like, and then there's a lot of views. I'm assuming they're making a lot of money from the advertisement itself than by rather than selling the rights to the TV station or something for the movies.
If I'm not mistaken, Monster Boy, they put their whole movie, but
Yep.
I think the first Boy that they put on YouTube. I like that kind of strategy because if people are going to pirate me or buy a DVD and then read and then upload to YouTube, might as well I put on my YouTube. So
Correct.
so yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the first Boy was there. So that kind of strategy I think worked well for Malaysians. Where for us, okay, we already have the internet. So what else that we can watch, right? And then so we just watch Boy right at YouTube. So and then at the same time also you can watch Boy on Netflix and maybe iFlix. I'm not sure about iFlix but now iFlix tahu lah.
Still okay.
Still okay, I guess. But yeah, Netflix local content is keep booming on Netflix also. So, but then here's the interesting part where I think among us, those who are capable of producing content should be producing the content. We want to move the rakyat. We want to move the citizen from not just a consumer, but we should be the one who produce because there's still a lot of content that Malaysians can do, but we are not producing enough yet. So yeah, that's why.
coming back to that.
To become a YouTuber, you should do YouTube.
I should do a YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe if need to consult you first. So back to the question, right?
Okay.
Malaysia should be more producer, right? But the problem in Malaysia is like if you say going for Malay language, right? The problem is like the population in Malaysia is too low to actually for you actually make a good ROI. So that's some of the complaints, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is understandable and it is a reality that our cake was this small. I mean, we have only like Malaysian population has 30 million, and if I give and take 20 or 22 million that are on the internet, so 20 and 22 for the internet. If you run a Google AdSense also, you have to be really on top of the game of the traffic to get a
Yep.
decent income to sustain your media outfit whatever. So that is one part of it. But again, even the cake is small. It should be noted that Malaysia also have a good economy and we are better position. We have a better position also, lah. So of course, brands will be spending. It's just that are we on those kind of are we in the group or not? That's the kind of thing. That's the
So
kind
you
of
just produce content, high quality content, and then
we just
the advertiser will come and find you.
that's my usual. I mean, when I get back to kampung or whatever, right? So sometimes when they will ask like, hey, do we really can make a money from YouTube or can we really make a money from a website? I would say yes, but it is if you don't have a lot of patience or if you don't have a proper media strategy or if you don't have a stable job yet. I mean, of course, at that time, I when I joined, I don't have a stable job, even me. So it will be easy for you to sustain, because if you are one man show and if you want to get a website to the point of 4 million page view or 5 million page view, you will need to do a lot of things, lah. It's just that because Google are paying in US dollars that we can enjoy that much, lah. Because they pay US dollars, right? If pay by ringgit, then susah lah. And I remember during our early years, when I tried to sell ads, one of my agency people, he mentioned to me, if you don't have 1 million page view, don't come to me. So that time was quite hard because you only have and he was asking for 1 million page view per month. We at that time was like 100k page view per month. So how do we hit 1 million? So, but then when we
our population is like how many million?
Yeah. But then when we hit the first million, right? And then after that, I think we know how to navigate that, right? And then the traffic gets increased. But then for how long that you get the first million page view or the first million view, that is the most important part lah for anyone to play on this type of income whatever.
Content gaming.
The content game. I think I saw the question by John Adha also. I'm looking at the Facebook mobile versus desktop traffic percentage. A lot of traffic
Mobile.
On mobile, yeah. It's about 80% mobile.
Yep.
You
don't have when you look at the writing of content, even e-commerce, Lazada, whatever you're doing, it's everything through mobile nowadays. Like mobile is so that's why people go to mobile first, not desktop first anymore. Traffic is always mobile.
Now looking at the real-time traffic, 88% is mobile, 11 or 12% on desktop, and 1% on tablet. Yeah. Okay.
The tablet. What? People are still using tablet. Okay, impressed.
There was a report that tablet sales are increasing few months ago. Maybe
Technically, iPad is tablet.
Yeah, technically you count iPad actually.
iPad is tablet, right? Yeah.
How about
And,
iPad Pro? iPad Pro.
Surface is
iPad Pro. I think iPad Pro is
that's a
tablet.
tablet.
Well, that's a quite a question because
No, I think the gray line is the bigger is
whether you get a code or not.
let's say Samsung Note. Is Samsung Note a tablet?
Note is mobile.
No, it's mobile. That one is for sure.
No, is mobile. If let's say Galaxy Tab, that Galaxy Tab is tablet.
So the Surface Duo, is it a tablet or is it a phone?
Again?
Surface Duo, the new one, the Surface.
Okay, that's a hard one. Yeah, how do we differentiate? Because when you say just now, right? So we have to go back to remember iPad ads, they say these are the new kind of computer. Okay, so how Google Analytics define this one?
Check it.
Computer or
Yeah, that's the thing.
tablet?
Last time, I
And
think
then-
the last time was the definition was like whatever screen above 5 inch above is considered tablet. But now I don't know like what's the ratio or what's the definition.
Yeah, but for web designers or web anyone who want to do a website, right? They have to ensure that now is on mobile lah. But then if you are staying on WordPress has a lot of mobile compatible themes, so that's good to start with lah.
Agree.
Yep.
Okay. I have one more question. Like, what do you think about chatbot?
Oh, chatbot.
So do you think chatbot is really making impact? And second, do you think chatbots can be fully integrated, fully reliable, and we should trust chatbot? And third, are you planning to use chatbot like to deliver news or something? Like I don't know. Like I have my personal opinion, but I was just looking like since you deal with a lot of consumer, right? So you should like have some opinion on that.
We explore chatbot back in I think on the early days, not to say the early days, I think maybe two or 3 years ago. But we have
Still
an issue
early,
with that. Because for our readers, usually they will start with salam, or they will say with salam aman, and then they start asking questions lah. So of course, salam aman, what are the best phone nowadays? Okay, yeah boss. Okay, these are the best phone. Okay, thanks boss. Salam. The moment they end the conversation with salam, then they start again.
Yeah.
Okay. But then when we started that, I think we have a bot for just few days, and then we turn it on, and then okay, let's see, and then okay, let's turn it off lah, because people will, let's say there's about 10 or 20 people, right? Maybe about 11 or 15, they will start with salam and end with salam also, and salam is like, if you want to start a bot command using salam, and then when they close again, they will salam again. We are in a dead loop. And as for chatbot, right? I think for Malaysia, the challenge will be the language transliteration, and then for Malaysia, right? Because we are so used for rojak language. We are so used for mixed up language. So
also Kelantan, Terengganu, Pening, Sabah.
And then you even have a different command, or you have a different type of WhatsApp, or when people messaging you, right? And then you are messaging someone from Kelantan. Sometimes they just put a Kelantan tag or whatever, and then for us human, we still can make sense. But for bot, I am not sure. I don't put much hope on that lah.
And then we have a bahasa rempit also.
We have bahasa rempit also.
Rempit,
and we have a bahasa millennial, like aku become AQ. So if
That
someone
was just my high school. I don't think millennial. I used to use that last time.
guilty.
Like during my high school time.
So imagine
What?
if you what?
Yeah, I used to AQ, right? Aku, right? I used to type that way, like during my high school time, but no more. I found the like enlightenment, so no longer.
Right
Use
now,
your language properly, kid.
I got A. So
Okay,
female
fine.
and female are judging you. You know, you're like, hey, how are these now? If someone was to do a proper chatbot in not Tamil language, in Malaysian daily language, right? I think whoever can tackle that will be tackling a lot of things, and maybe that kind of language right can be shared with the corporates. Like okay, AIA, you have your own chatbot, right? Here's the library. We can understand Kelantanese, we can understand Terengganu, or we can understand even the Aku languages or WeChat kids or Rempit boys. Those kind of your slangs, you know, that would be so helpful. For chatbot, because we are not a single language.
we need to train. We need to find a couple of beta.
We need to
testers,
train
train the
a lot.
bot.
We need to do the
train
AI a
with
lot.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think seriously, like it'll be useful if Terror write us a cheat sheet for old people like us to understand.
No, I don't know use
Aku
it.
language.
Nowadays, like, yeah. That one is during my high school time. Like, I used to use that. Like, I don't know, that was a trend that time. So,
And notice that I think last time because we are being forced to do short notes or short types because we are using SMS. So SMS has a what
yes.
149 characters, right?
140.
Yeah.
140.
50,
240.
140. Yes.
140.
50, but
Yeah.
but is that
So we are
is a
we are
character?
being limited to that kind of text. But then now we have WhatsApp, whatever. We are still using the short
No,
form.
I don't. I stopped.
Ah.
So I stopped once.
I think the
WhatsApp.
problem with is more ridiculous when sometimes the shorthand is actually longer and harder to type. Suppose
Yeah.
allegedly.
That one is a WeChat language. Bahasa Lee WeChat.
we
Like
need.
right?
There's
We need a
another one for
dictionary.
aku. There's another one for aku. AK.
I
AK.
heard that before.
AK. So I tried all that. So I mean, I found it, and then I found okay, just type aku now. So AKU. So done.
Yes.
We have one.
Please. Please.
Please PLS or PLZ. ZZ.
Fine.
Thanks
Anyone that-
PNX.
Anyone that's building this kind of dictionary or chatbot sure can make either tons of money by licensing or will be recognized worldwide. This guy can do 20 dialects of Malaysian.
I think only Malaysia have this kind of problem, right?
No, it's called Creole language.
So
It's
everywhere.
kind of thing technically called a Creole language.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A derivative language.
Correct. So you see that in the Caribbean where there's a mix of the African and Arab, African, Spanish, etc., etc. So yeah, it's called Creole language.
It's pretty common in Africa. I'm not
So
sure about
Crystal
India,
in
Africa.
Malacca
But
is what
if you're talking
happens.
about Africa, there's less internet penetration though. So like you're talking about the
Yeah.
countries that
No, it's
No, it's
still
for
yeah.
colonization.
sizable penetration, suppose. Yeah. But
Okay.
or Caribbean
Yeah.
is very mixed.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's for
So-
colonization, not internet. So internet speaking stuff is interesting actually, but that's another story.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
So you have any questions
yeah.
in the chat? I think someone
I'm not identifying any
trend.
I think I saw earlier I saw a question like what's the search function
Okay.
on the Amans?
Oh, search box in Aman's page. Any significant usage? Oh,
You can.
I don't.
The search for articles.
Yeah, the search article box, but I think I'm the one that usually use that one. I don't have those numbers at the moment. I'm looking
So
at
you
my
don't
GA.
so you don't put it's actually very privacy focused. You don't put trackers everywhere. That's how
I
you
don't want
advertise
to
it.
claim that.
That's why I'm wondering like its website is very direct and simple. You know they are not using so much of like way to increase the traffic or what like. So I was
Okay,
very curious.
I
I'm
think
not
also
sure if
like
I'm
if
looking-
people gonna search, normally they're gonna do it via Google, right? Like Aman's, like I'm gonna search like Aman's, let's say the earthquake.
No, it's
So
actually even
instead of going
better.
in months,
You type in Malay, then the chances is the result will be Aman's. Seriously.
Yeah.
Try something like Temple Bumi dengan Android. Chances is the first will be Aman's.
Bumi
I can
and
bet
Android.
on that.
I'm trying myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. The result is on number 2. The first one is the app Gempa Bumi Indonesia. But then the second one is us, and then the third one is Soya Cincau BM.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which last one. What do you think about competition nowadays? Because nowadays it's actually easier and easier to do because you're not the only one. You're still Amans is still my main one, but occasionally I also look at who's the guy name again? Crap. See, I remember Amans before the one you said just now. So how about the competition nowadays? That's a question.
nowadays, I think competition nowadays competition is inevitable.
Yep.
For us, we don't see it as competition. Why? Because for a digital entity, right? For a digital entity, if let's say
Yep.
people come to the website to read it, people will also go to other website to read it, and it will happen the same thing for the other site too. Because if let's say they go to some other website, and then maybe their thoughts will be like, oh, maybe let's see what Aman say about this. What's
Yeah.
the Aman's opinion on this? And then they will go back to us, and then that's why we have a lot of cookies that are tracking the movement of the website. And then when we measure our traffic, these are how your competitors are doing. So
Yep.
for us, I don't have much issue, or it's good to have a competition, and but it is definitely very beneficial for the reader because they got to know the opinions, they got to see differences in those kind of info, and it is important for us to celebrate the differences in opinion when reading about this kind of thing. Maybe they read about Gempa Bumi in Aman. Oh, okay, it's pretty straightforward. But if let's say they go to read about Gempa Bumi, the Gempa Bumi Android right just now, but then they read it inside the security analyst punya website. So maybe if let's say it is a function that keeps on turning, does it mean it can record when I'm shaking or exercising or whatever? So that can be a different opinion on it, right? Now, and then if let's say that kind of discussion is being held in Malay language, is being
Yeah.
held in a language that majority people can understand in a nation, so it
Yeah.
make more senses. It make more like then it will make people to think about it. So that's why for me
So-
I don't have an issue with position lah.
I take back when I say he doesn't have much tracker because I'm just going through his website and he have like more than 10 type of trackers.
Hey.
Which website was that?
I would say, and then I want to ask you, you have Amans.in India, you have Ama.nz New Zealand, and then Amans.me, and then Amans
Yep.
Promo, Gmat.com, Gincu.net, Dachanti.com, lagi. See, I
We
don't
have a lot of
Bolasepak.net, Equan.com.
we have a lot of
You have 25 domains that redirects here.
of course, because those are the sites that we have a future plan on it. So
Okay,
for
should we
Ama,
censor whatever I said?
actually yes, but it's okay. They I'm not a dictator yet in Kalian control lah.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Okay, just to be sure, I just found
There is
this
a
on
plan.
the simple open source. I mean, I didn't use
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I just went to search on it.
some people that do the coding this kind of info sure can find this kind of info lah. What I want to say just now is that so for Ama's India, right? So we have plans. We have just plans lah, but never materialized lah. But if
Is it
let's say
going to be or something?
we are going to other places or whatever, our aim will always be the same lah, which is we make sure we deliver the info in a language that they can understand lah. Even if let's say there will be Amans in Arab, then it will be in Arabic language lah, or Amans in Swahili, then Swahili language lah. The Amar that
What happened to Amas in Indonesia though?
we
Is it still there or?
still have the stuff, but I guess we missed the window. At that time, we wanted to do something. At that time, like 2016 or 17, but we just missed that kind of window. But we still have the editors working for us.
But I understand lah. Indonesia is the market, the content marketing there is crazy. Like people fight for it. Like it's really crazy.
Also, the language, everybody pretty much
It's
speak
like
the same,
you're talking about
almost.
15 seconds here late. They like 1 second is late when the news come out.
and then for them, if you are not reaching 1 million per month, then you are not performing at all.
Yeah.
1 million per month is like
Crazy.
the minimum barrier. I mean, okay, maybe just now when the agency said to me, hey, you need 1 million page views, then come to talk to me, right? I think for Indonesia, right, maybe it's safe to say that you need to have 10 million page views per month, then come talk to me about the advertising. That one was so sure that one lah. But of course lah, it's the economics of scale.
Yep, I agree. Correct. Interesting.
Yep.
So
I think
Okay,
we getting
but
a bit late.
just one more. For your when they say
everyone is
Arab, right?
excited.
No, because when you say Arab, right? There's a story about him in Arab. Like in 24 hours, he was in Arab Saudi.
Oh,
So maybe you can end it the story with the hackathon that you went lah. Like how you got invited and then you went there and then get escorted some more.
that one was so random lah. So imagine suddenly Arab Saudi government wanted to do a hackathon, and then of course surprisingly also Malaysia is one of the prominent country in OIC whatever the OIC organization Islamic Community, is it? I'm not sure about the acronym.
Yeah.
And then they decided, hey, you are quite a big name in Malaysia, so why not you come? But then, okay, they were inviting us 4 days before the event, and then because I went to Mecca before for Umrah, and I know the visa application is very
Really
tight,
slow.
but not as tight as US.
Yeah.
And then of course, if I'm doing the visa, I don't think it will be done in 4 days. And then the people who invite me like, don't worry, brother. Inshallah, everything will be okay.
Just
I was
come
like,
over.
okay. Now my faith are being tested, like, inshallah, everything will be okay. God wills it, will be okay. Okay. Alright. And then we are bouncing, we have the WhatsApp message, whatever, right? Don't worry, brother, we will take care of you, whatever. And then until the day, like this time, 11 midnight, they come with a message, brother, tomorrow just go to Saudi Airlines at KLIA. Talk to the manager. You will get your ticket. I was like, wow. But then those kind of things, when I go there, of course, big Malaysian, right? And then you deal with Malaysian, and then say, I have a request, but can I speak to the manager? Because these are the program, the Hajj Hackathon, and then you see Saudi Airlines is one of the sponsors, and they have 3 hour ticket, and I say, who are you, whatever, and then I told the organizer, 30 minutes after, the manager come to me, come with me, here's your ticket. Wow. And then when I go there, it's all about the hackathon. I think it was a super massive hackathon that is by international standard. I don't think, I mean, we all know hackathons in Malaysia or whatever. We know the scales of like those that are happening at APID, those are happening like KDU or whatever. It's still big, like 50% or 100%, like the one in TM, 100% or 150 participants. This was a massive 5,000 people. I was like, oh man. And then they are judging every room, so that was quite an experience lah. And then that's the what I saw, Steve Wozniak. And then you imagine one of the pitch, right? Steve Wozniak was asking, sister, because it's an all-female team. How do you ensure your QR code is big enough or for people inside a car to scan during their trip? And then the lady said, sir, during Hajj, no one drive. Whole hall were laughing, and I was like, holy shit. Well, she didn't answer the question correctly, but it's a very practical answer. All people during Hajj, no one in the car. Everyone was walking, right? Oh, okay. But then I think this year they don't continue the program. I think maybe it's more like like the national agenda whatever. Like, okay, we have to do hackathon this year to show our capability whatever. So maybe it's kind of that kind of ideology. But again, it's still a priceless experience because you get to see as recorded in the what? Guinness World Book of Records that they are the biggest hackathon ever. But yeah, it was very meriah one lah. You macam wow. so
Less
many
than 12
people.
hours invite less than 12 hours.
Less than 12 hours, and then, hey, what you do? Oh, I do the sanitation in Hajj. Oh, okay. And they are solving people for 2 million people. I don't know. I might want to compete in that too, but I don't know if I have what it takes. Or maybe I don't know because of how they arranging the pitch and competition. Because it can be far-fetched, because if let's say 5,000 people inside a hackathon, and then every team they are being assigned to 10 teams will being judged in room F, and then another one room G, and then 10 teams. So imagine there's about 30 rooms of different judges. So you don't know the standard of judges. Maybe this one see, this one problem is valid, and then this one see the same problem, but for him, this is not valid. So you have a lot of variables for that matter. So yeah, again, it's fun to see, but when you think of from the point of organizer, right, you will think a lot of how you solve the disparity, because you have different teams. You even have team from Japan, but it's a Muslim Japan, I guess. But does he really know what the Hajj challenges or whatever? So sometimes we don't know. So there's some stuff
It's a huge logistic problem.
Yeah, huge logistic problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I think back to the one question just now, because I have a question from John Alha that I noticed there is search work in Aman's page, any significant usage. So I got the answer from my technical team. See, 11 p.m. So we have a search meter last time. It is quite a huge usage. But then because of that huge usage, we have to remove it because the database become bigger and bigger. So people were searching, then it will put in database. And then because of, I think to optimize our server, so we have to remove the search meter from, and then since then we don't measure the search much more longer. So yeah, that's about the search. I think it's significant. It's just that we, at the moment, we don't have that resources to measure now. And we are running on a dedicated server. Some parts of our website is in CDN, and the CDN, some part of CDN also stays on AWS, and some on local CDN, local supplier. So
I know which
last
one
time,
I will say.
yeah. Hey, don't say lah.
I won't say. I know. Actually know what you guys are running on, but yeah, I will say it.
Wow, I got 4 programmers here from DevKami trying to break down my website.
No, we had a conversation.
Only this guy here.
Only this guy. Okay.
Okay.
Don't
guys.
To clear
Yeah,
it,
the
okay.
good guys.
I actually had a conversation with him last time. That's why I know. He told me.
Okay.
You told me last
But
time.
I think we have to stop for now because man, we
too
have
long,
so
right?
much question. Yes.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming, because I
No
got feeling
problem.
we had a second part, but
We have a lot of
What?
second part.
yeah, that's the thing. We have a lot of people that promised to have part 2, but that never happened. So,
Okay.
but either way, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Just so you
A
know,
lot of interesting.
No problem. Thank you for having
just so
me.
you know, DevKami, the name is actually comes from wedding Kami that we do last time.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I still hold on to that name, but it's just that I don't do much thing on it.
I remember you used to own a lot of. It's not Kami,
Kami
it's
stuff.
Kita, right? Kita, right?
Oh no, for me it's Kami. I got wedding Kami. I got office Kami.
I remember there's a lot of Kami from you.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that. You want to? It's just that at that time, it's kind of fun. That time was mebeng to you.
Money.
Perabot to you, or
But,
furniture to
thanks
you,
for
or
coming.
whatever things to you. Yeah. No problem.
Thanks for coming
pleasure.
because it's been fun.
Okay.
So I hope
We're gonna
we
say
have
bye
a second
to the folks.
part this time. So goodbye. Don't leave first, by the way.
Yeah.
Just we're going
Just-
Okay.